What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? It's Julian Gordon here, and I am at the Black House in East Point, and it is for sale. That sign right there might say for lease, but ain't nothing for lease. This is for sale now. It looks like they're asking for about $3.7 million for the building now, and according to the SEC filings, they put about $3.5 million into this building. So when you think about it, that's about one third, 25% of the fund. About 30% of the fund was put into this one single building that Jay Morrison could not get to produce. And so it's been taking losses, operating losses, month after month after month. And now it's for sale. Again, the SEC filings show that they put about $3.5 million into it, recently refinanced, and got $1.5 million out of the walls. So that means that there should be about $2 million worth of equity still in the building. $2 million would be about 16% of the fund actually left. The cash has probably been depleted. As of August of 2023, there was only about $575,000 in cash left. So with the operating losses month over month, August, September, October, November, December, 7 months now, with the operating losses that the fund was incurring, that money's probably depleted. In addition to Jay Morrison gouging it for management fees, the cash is probably gone. So this is the last remaining asset of the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. If the sale goes through at the asking price, that would be about $2 million in cash back to the fund. Question is that $2 million going to get distributed to the investors, or is it going to be gouged by Jay Morrison and his deferred management fees? I run a real estate fund, and I deferred all my management fees until we actually achieved profit. So I delayed my management fees until the end of the game. He's been taking management fees, significant management fees, all throughout this process. In addition, his wife has used this building for her green lit events, or whatever it is called, green lit events, been using it for a podcast, and we have no evidence of any expenses incurred for usage of the podcasting studio or for the space by his wife, right? Which is not in the investor's best interest. And so this is it, family. This is it. Talk about a legacy center. This is going to be a legacy. It's going to be a bad legacy, but it's going to be a legacy. He pulled on the narrative and the emotional cords of Tulsa, Oklahoma, which was burned down by white people. But here we have a fund and a building that was burned down on the inside by the black man who raised the fund in the first place. Now, I give Jay props for organizing the fund and getting it together, but that's the first step. At some point, you got to execute. And I met with him in this office. Where's his office? Over there. I met with him in his office, his corner office, went from the corner to the corner office. I went there, met with him, did everything in my power to try to help him. I brought deals to the table that he rejected and that I ended up financing myself. Multi-million-dollar real estate development deals that I brought to him. And because he didn't move on it, because he wanted cash to stay in the fund so that he could take his management fees, I ended up doing those deals myself. Now, some people say, Julian, why would you invest $40,000 into this fund? It wasn't so much that I believe in the man, I believe in the vision. I believe in the vision of us coming together as black people and crowdfunding. You see it in every other community, but for us, it's been difficult. And this vehicle called the Reggae Crowd Fund was a great vehicle for us to finally demonstrate our collective power. So it was the right asset class. You know, I'm Mr. Multifamily, right? It was the right asset class, but it was the wrong asset manager. And I take responsibility for that. But $40,000 to me is not a lot, family. I've been the lead investor in 5 black real estate funds all across the country, okay? I've been a lead investor in 5. And the $40,000 that I put into this fund is small in comparison to the investments that I made in those other funds. So I had it to lose. Did I want to lose it? No, I had it to lose. Some people did not have the $500 to lose. Some people did not have their $3,000 to lose. Some people did not have the $10,000 to lose. All right. So I wanted to channel, because of the way I see money, I wanted to channel positive energy towards something I believed in. And I believed in the vision of the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. I did not ultimately believe in the visionary. And so here we are, 6 years later, and not only is the building for sale, but the fund is liquidating. according to the 53 out of 15,000 investors that attended the last investor call, because many of us have not been getting the emails or the Zoom link for those calls, nor are the replays being posted. Only 53 people attended. Jay Morrison is liquidating the fund, meaning when you liquidate, you're selling all of those assets to make them liquid. There aren't many assets. He did not buy many assets over the course of 6 years. And so I don't know what he was doing in that corner office, but he wasn't doing real estate. I'll tell you that. He was not doing real estate. And so there weren't many assets acquired. And so here we are. And so, yeah, I see some people, I didn't have the $1,500 to lose. And so, you know, I know Jay Morrison had an interesting track record, but I see the best in people. I see the good in people. And there are some skill sets that he has that are great if they're used for good. But he's been out here standing on Black history, on Black power, and on God. And he does not move accordingly, does not move in alignment with the narratives and the history that he pulls on and the divinity that he claims to pull on. You wouldn't do that to 15,000 people. I know he's done it in one-on-one situations with some people on the internet and other dealings, but I was like, nah, he wouldn't do that to 15,000 people. But he did. He wrote the subscription agreement in a way that gave him totalitarian authority to make decisions about the use of funds. Okay? So he wrote it in a very precise way in case this was to happen. And who knows? He may have intended this from the beginning. He may have intended to do this from the beginning. But even when you've written the subscription agreement in that way, it does not relieve you or absolve you of the fiduciary duty to your investors to serve them and act in their best interest. And based on the SEC filings and what we've seen, there are many decisions that he made and didn't make that were not in alignment with the best interest of the investors. And so while I forgive this brother, I can't even call him brother, while I forgive this man in the spiritual realm, I don't hold any angst towards him. I don't hold any hate. I've moved on with my life. I make money in other ways, right? I don't hold any hate towards him. I've forgiven him in the spiritual realm. There are still earthly consequences for violating man-made law. There are still earthly consequences for violating man-made law. And I will push and push on the DA and the SEC until they investigate. I'm not even saying that I know what the conviction will be. Based on the 200 pages of evidence that I've gathered at TulsaRealEstateFraud.com, I'm pretty certain that there is significant violation of fiduciary duty in this fund. Right? I'm pretty certain of that. And so I will push until they investigate. This will not be decided in the court of public opinion or on social media. This will be decided by the SEC or the DA when that time comes. And I will push until they investigate. Now, here's the thing. They don't tell you if or when they are investigating. So we literally have to wait patiently in the dark and keep letting our voices be heard by posting our videos and tagging Fulton County DA. That will get to Fannie Willis when she sees that, when she sees an influx of people sharing their stories about what happened here and what this means to them and why they're angry and frustrated. So I happened to be getting some food in the area and I decided to pull up. I didn't plan on shooting this video today, but because we need the 15,000 investors to, one, know what's going on with the fund, because many don't know because they don't correspond with the investors at all, right? They've closed down the Facebook group. They don't send out emails, right? They don't send out Zoom links for calls. And so we are in the dark. And so that's the only reason I'm on social media talking about this. If I could get straight to the DA, and I will, I have some soft leads into the... We're back. So many people have asked me, Julian, why don't you buy the building? And I could, but this is not the business model that I'm interested in. In order to make this building produce, I think you have to operate it as an event space. I do think that you need film and other big players that come in and use and rent the space. And I'm not networked in that way in that particular industry. So while I love the building and what they've done with it, I'm not interested in buying the building at this moment in time. The other reason why is, as an investor, I want the building to sell for the highest price possible. As an investor, I want the building to sell at the highest price possible. And so it'd be a conflict of interest for me to try to buy the building at a favorable price while I want not only as an investor for it to be sold at the highest price, right? That's a conflict of interest. I didn't do this. I didn't get online to share this for any recognition. I didn't do this to gain anything. Okay, I have no ulterior motives. I was in the position to educate the investors. Why? Because I was the lead investor in this fund. I was a fellow real estate developer, and I also was a former friend to Jay Morrison. So the way life lined up, it just so happened that I was the best person to actually speak up about what I saw happening in the fund after trying to go directly to Jay Morrison for over a month to connect and say, what's going on? I literally sat in that corner office and I said, Jay, you got to put on the 45 jersey. You got all these people talking dirty about you, right? And how you scam me. And the way you can just shut everybody up is to make the fund perform, right? You claim that you're king of real estate. You've been dethroned. You are no longer the king of real estate. You have been dethroned by myself and others who are in this space, who are actually doing the work, who are actually buying real estate, who are actually doing real estate on a daily basis. You don't even want to get your nails dirty. Sitting there in your dashikis and stuff like that, your legs crossed. You don't even want to get your nails dirty. We're out here doing real estate in real life. In real life. You were supposed to outwork the work, fool, but you didn't. And so here we are. And I'm guaranteed that I'm not going to let up, family. I am not going to let up until an investigation occurs by the DA or the SEC. I've already laid out my evidence. 200 plus pages of documentation, along with the help of Follow the Paperwork, along with the help of JT. I've laid out everything, and it's going to be an open and shut case. There's always a paper trail, and we found it. We got it. Everything that is done in the dark shall be brought to the light. It can happen in 3 days. They may pull up on you in 3 months. They may pull up on you in 3 years, but at some point, they're going to pull up on you. They are going to pull up. So I just want you to be aware of that. And we as the people are not going to let you just walk out here in Atlanta and not feel what we feel. That's not going to happen. So you might have to pick up your residence at 3900 Damuni, which we financed, which we bought through your anonymous LLC and trying to hide and all that stuff. Your New Mexico anonymous LLC and people who don't even exist signing paperwork, etc. You might have to pick up and move. You might have to pick up and move because it's not going to be cool for you to walk around here. You wonder why you don't get invited to people's stages. You wonder why you don't get invited on people's podcasts. It's because of slimy stuff like this. It can't be everybody else. It's got to be you. When you going to look in the mirror? And you still out here on Instagram and social media posting reels about credit to cash flow. Did your credit to cash flow game show, did it pay any money to the Tulsa Real Estate Fund to use the space for your game show? Whole life insurance. How about you just do this play? You had $11.7 million to run this play and you blew the bag. You blew the bag, homie. We trusted in you. We believed in you. You dropped the ball. This has nothing to do with anybody else. It has nothing to do with hate. You had all the opportunity. It was a layup. That should have been leveraged into a $40 million real estate portfolio. $11.7 million should be a $40 million real estate portfolio right now. And what are we left with? A $3.5 million building with a $1.5 million mortgage, $2 million left in an $11.7 million fund after 6 years. How does a real estate fund go bust in the midst of a real estate boom? How? Haters did that? No, haters didn't do that. The only thing that you can talk about is COVID. And COVID affected the shared working space business model that you had there. The shared working space business model wasn't going to make this building profitable anyways. On a $1.5 million mortgage, the mortgage payment is about what? The mortgage payment is what? About $15,000 a month. $15,000 a month. Sorry about that, family. Y'all back. I don't know why the sound go out. I don't know why the sound went out. Thanks for letting me know. So, I'm gonna end this right here. It's a sad story, family. It's definitely a black version of American greed. It's a black version of American greed, and we're gonna remember this one. We're gonna remember this one as a family. And my prayer is that for those of you who lost money in this deal, that's all you lost. That's material loss, and don't focus on that money, because that money is likely not coming back. Again, there's about $2 million in equity left in this building. If it sells for $3.5 million and there's a $1.5 million mortgage, there's about $2 million left in these walls if it can sell. And hopefully that gets distributed. Every last dime gets distributed back to investors if he doesn't pull on it for management fees that are due. I told you, as a real estate fund owner myself, I withheld my management fees until we make profit. He has been gouging the fund year after year after year for his management fees, leaving the fund and sucking it dry. Him and his wife, him and his family, they doing well, while all of us are out here having to fund their life and lifestyle. It's a question of morality. And he's dancing around the internet acting like nothing is happening, and the building is on fire. The fund is failing. Yet you focused on building your credit to cash in the bottom feeder business. Because it's really, I don't know what else other way you're gonna make money without scamming people. That seems to be the business model. Scam people. Yeah, we off that. This is the last time that's happening on my watch. This is the last time that's happening on 15,000 of our watches and everybody who's supporting us. So again, to all my folks out there, all my investors, record your videos just like I'm doing right now. I just want to be a demonstration for you right now. Record your videos, post them, tag at Fulton County DA, You'll see a great example of a video in my feed by someone in the military. He did a great job shooting his video. We need our voices to be heard. Again, this is not about Julian versus Jay Morrison. No, I just happen to be the lead investor. I happen to be educated about real estate investing. And I happen to be able to articulate what is happening and understand the paperwork. And so that is why I'm here at the forefront. I didn't choose to be here. I didn't want to be here. There's better things I could be doing with my time, like running my own business. With the multifamily movement, we've helped over 882 people close on multifamily real estate across the country. When you add that up, that's $350 million worth of real estate that my students have acquired in real life, all across the country. $350 million worth of real estate. I think that's an employee right there. She just came out the parking lot. So where do you think my energy is better spent? Focusing on this right here. See, she's driving real slow. I think that's an employee. Where do you think my time is better spent? Focusing on this $11.7 million, which is gone, or continuing to help my students close on multifamily real estate all across the country? And that was done in less time than the Tulsa Real Estate Fund has been in existence. So I'm trying to take my community to $1 billion worth of real estate owned. 100,000 people with $1 million net worth is $100 billion. That would make us the 8th wealthiest family in the world. This could have been the start of that. Here in Atlanta, with all these young, amazing black people, entrepreneurs, professionals. We could have come together and done something special. But now this action has created more distrust in the community. And now we're going back to square one instead of having built momentum coming out of COVID and coming out of raising this fund together. We can do it, family. We can do it. This demonstrated that we can do it. Again, it was the right asset class, wrong asset manager. So my challenge to you is don't be afraid to do it again. But next time, make sure that we do better due diligence, that there is a track record of success and results and no scamming at all. All right. So with that, I'm about to head out. I'm about to go have dinner, family. Again, I just happened to be in the neighborhood. I drove by and I wanted to be a demonstration for all of you. Get out there and record your videos. All my investors, record your videos. State who you are, your name, what you do, how much you invested, why you invested, and how you feel about the fund's liquidation. He's not going to say he's closing the fund, but the fund's liquidation, how you feel about that, and what you think should be done. I want the SEC and the DA to do an official investigation using the documentation that I've already laid out, the 200 pages of research that I've laid out at TulsaRealEstateFraud.com. Again, that's TulsaRealEstateFraud.com. And I want to thank everybody who has supported online in this initiative, because, there's a lot of people who are quiet. And just because you're quiet, don't think we see you. Look, she's driving around again. Just because you quiet, don't think we don't see you. Shout out to Tony the Closer. Shout out to JT the Pocket Watcher. Shout out to Follow the Paperwork. Shout out to all those who are blowing the whistle early. Like Too Short said, blow the whistle. Respect to all of them. Okay? But we also see who's been quiet. We also see who's been hush-hush. Hasn't said anything. I wonder why. I really wonder why. I'm curious. Why haven't you said anything? Why haven't you said anything? We talk about how other people scam our community all the time, but why haven't you said anything about somebody in our community scamming our community? This is like the uncle who molesting kids, and you just don't say anything. It's the uncle in the family that you just like, no, don't say anything. We see you. We don't hear you, but we see you. We don't hear you, but we see you. So, every dog has his day. And this one is coming to an end real soon. My deepest prayer is that of the $2 million in equity that's potentially left in these walls, that every dime goes back to investors. $2 million is about 16% of the money raised, and that 16% hopefully can be returned to the investors immediately upon closing of this fund and selling of this building. All right. So again, all the research is at TulsaRealEstateFraud.com, FRAUD, TulsaRealEstateFraud.com. Right. So I'm not just talking out of emotion. This is all researched, and it's backed by the SEC filings, Fulton County Assessor's Office deeds, and recorded mortgages. All of this has been researched. I don't talk out of my side of my neck. I talk based on truth. All right. So again, this is just to inspire all investors to record your videos. As soon as we get off this live, go record your 1 minute, 2 minute video. Tag at Fulton County DA. Let's make some noise. Yes, Fannie Willis is in her own situation right now. She's dealing with Trump or whatnot. But as soon as that's done, we want our case to be at the top of her desk. I have some soft leads into her office, and I hope to get in front of her soon, because this is an open and shut case, and I can't wait. Until that day. All right. Much love, y'all. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great evening. Peace.